One of the things I think I've taken for granted during this past year is being able to go into our church building, our church sanctuary, once or twice a week for our live streams. And this was brought home to me earlier this week when we were doing a live stream, and somebody had come along to help with that live stream, but they hadn't been in the church building for over a year. And they'd got there early, and when I arrived, I found them just walking around and just breathing it in, saying, I have missed this place. And there is something special and awesome about our church building. This sense that when we go there, we know there's an expectancy that we're going to meet with God. Maybe that's built on experiences in the past when we've been with others and we've worshipped and we've praised, or we have clapped at baptisms, or we have just been fed by the Word of God. And that place is synonymous for us with experiencing and encountering God. Or maybe because it is holy ground, it is a place where God's Spirit just richly dwells. But there is something about our sanctuary where many of us would say, that is a place where I'm able to draw near to God and I'm able to connect with Him. In the Celtic tradition, they often used to call places like that thin places. And the idea was that the distance between us here on earth and in heaven, that air became thin, and it became easier for us to encounter God, to experience His power and His presence. Now in my life, there's been a few places that I would say that is a thin place, that when I have been there, I have encountered and seen God at work. One of those places is a place that has been referred to as the modern day Sodom and Gomorrah, and that is Ibiza. I had the privilege of being part of 4 mission teams going to work with 24/7 prayer in Ibiza. As a team, we prayer walked, we offered prayer for folks, and we helped those that had got into trouble, drinking too much, taking drugs, whatever, they'd got themselves into a mess. As a team, we would help them back to their hotel, and we would just be there to be God's presence on those streets. And in that place that you would think there is an absence of God because of the debauchery, because of everything that went on, in fact, there was a far greater presence of God. There was a thickness to the streets where you could sense His presence, and where people of all ages and all backgrounds began to encounter and to experience Him, that His kingdom was there in the darkest of places in power, and was shining through, and was bringing victory, and was changing lives for all eternity. And as I look at San Antonio, it gives me encouragement. I think if God was there in the midst of such a dark and difficult place, how much more is He present in my life and in the places that I go into and encounter every day? And I'm reminded of the words of David from Psalm 139. David says this: "You have searched me, Lord, and you know me. You know when I sit and when I rise. You perceive my thoughts from afar. You discern my going out and my lying down. You are familiar with all my ways. Before a word is on my tongue, you, Lord, know it completely. You hem me in behind and before, and you lay your hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me, too lofty for me to attain. Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I go up to the heavens, you are there. If I make my bed in the depths, you are there. If I rise on the wings of the dawn, if I settle on the far side of the sea, even there your hand will guide me. Your right hand will hold me fast. If I say, surely the darkness will hide me, and the light become night around me, even the darkness will not be dark to you. The night will shine like the day, for darkness is as light to you." I love this idea that wherever we go, God goes. However dark the place or the situation may seem, God is there. God is able to come in power, to shine his light and to bring his kingdom in. I want to encourage you. Maybe you don't have a thin place. Maybe you do. But I want to encourage you that doesn't matter. That wherever you go, whatever you do today, God goes with you. That it can be a thin place. It can be a place of connecting with and encountering God. It can be a place where God uses you to bring his kingdom in. All it requires is for us to say, here I am, God. Meet with me. Go with me. Use me. As you go into this day, do not worry. You do not go alone, but you go with a God that knows you, a God that loves you, a God that wants to empower and equip you and bless you and connect with you, that you may know his love and his presence, and that you may be used by him to bring his kingdom in.